Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a while since I posted a video, so I thought we'd do a little state of the markets and talk about what's been happening. So, if you've been paying attention at all, since 2021 there's been a near inverse one-to-one negative correlation between the US dollar and equities. As you know, the S&P and many of the other major indexes all bottomed in October of 22 with the dollar topping, and since then the dollar's been trending down and equities have been trending up. So why am I bringing up this chart? Two things. We continue to see this correlation working, and because the dollar is falling below this kind of key support level here, it's going to let you know that there's a very high chance that we're going to continue to see an equities rip through at least January, as long as the dollar can stay in a downtrend. What we really want to see this chart do here is we want to see price come into, let's call it this 90, let's call it 100, 99.91 level. And we want to see it crash right through there. And we also want to see the weekly RSI get oversold. That's going to let us know that there is a bearish regime going on within the dollar index on a weekly level. And that means that our more riskier emerging market currencies, as well as some of those more established market currencies, are going to be ripping. And that is a confirmation that we're seeing a flight from safety and into more speculative assets. And if we take that down to the daily level as well, we can see that I posted back on Twitter at the end of November, we finally hit our negative, our oversold level in the daily. For the dollar, we did have this brief counter trend rally, which was kind of, a breakout if you're using this level here. Regardless, we did not see a higher high. This is a lower high, lower low, lower high. Now we're making another lower low. So this is a defined downtrend. And again, we went oversold on the daily RSI, which is what you want to see in a downtrend. As you know, momentum is trending. And when the RSI is getting oversold, we just assume it's going to continue to get that way until there is a change in the regime. So now that we kind of have a general macro look at the markets, we know that risk on is going to be the way that we're looking, and if the dollar can go below this 99.91, then we're going to see a huge rip into 2024. And if you're going to be playing a risk on environment, you have to be playing cryptos, the most volatile, highest beta assets that are in this market. So looking back at the dollar, this thing topped in October of 23, Bitcoin bottomed and really started making its rally in October of 23. Here's that same date, that October 2nd date. Now, after this huge run up, let's say this is we saw a 50% move in about a quarter, which is pretty impressive. Now we're just consolidating below this 45,000 level. And if we hit 45,000, this thing is hitting 69,000, no problem. I firmly believe we'll be seeing all-time highs if we can break that level. And if we do that, that's going to be another 53% gain. Let's move that over. 53% gain, which is not small at all. And if Bitcoin's breaking out, that means that Ethereum is also likely to break out. Seen a little bit smaller move. This one's only up, 33.5% since this October low. But again, we're consolidating just below this prior support. Now it's turned resistance. If we can break out from here, that's an easy 50% move. And then if we want to get cheeky and go to all-time highs, that is a 100% move. With Ethereum and like Bitcoin, let's go back. Volume has been an important leader. It lets you know back in October that this one is going to be moving higher. Same thing in Ethereum. So if we're consolidating at these levels on low volume, we want to see higher volume when we do finally break out through this level. So Bitcoin, your level's 45,000 on volume, and Ethereum, your level's 2,400 on volume. We're seeing Ethereum start to poke its way up. Since this is a weekly chart, you should really wait for the close unless we do get a pretty outsized move. But again, be looking for volume here. If you're in the stock market, the volatile assets you want to be looking at are either in the ARK Fund or in the Renaissance IPO ETF. So ARK looks pretty damn good here. If we can get oversold on the weekly, or overbought on the weekly, that's just going to let you know that we are definitely in an uptrend now, and that there's a high likelihood that this trend is going to persist. We're just now getting out of this huge base dating all the way back from August 22. And if we fib this, you know, your first price target's at 68, 69. And then from there, we get 93, and then we're right back up here, you know, towards these all-time highs. So on ARK, you know, a lot of these holdings include Tesla, which is looking to break out of this huge downtrend, and then, you know, some of your other stocks are Roku. This one is starting to get out of its base. For a while there, you had Zoom. This one is looking to get out of this kind of downtrend base, and then again, you can see the RSI is just trending higher. And then for IPO, same sort of thing, just looking to get above this, we'll call it all-time high BUI, previous high BUI. We're already above the August highs. If we do our fibs here, 46 is your first price target, and then we're at 60, then we're right back at all-time highs. And then within both ARK and IPO, we have Coin. We've been talking about this one on Twitter for a long time. If we're using our IPO VWAP, we cleared that. That's at 107 now. And then we finally got above these August highs. I started getting involved with this one back in here after we got our first volume spike. And then I added to it more on this candle once we got our second volume spike. This one is absolutely teleported to 200 just like I thought it would. Didn't even really see any resistance at this first fib. I was using that 200 level just because that was a previous resistance here. And I imagine we're going to have to sit here for a while. This thing's at 83 RSI in the weekly, which is pretty insane. I don't even know how much it's up to year to date. It's got to be up over 400% or so. Let's just take a look at that. Yeah, right around 412. So this one has a massive move. I think we need to consolidate for a while right around this 200 level, but you know, I don't really determine that. The market does. I would not buy Coin here. A lot of these other, you know, ARK stocks and IPO, I really wouldn't buy any of these here, but your cryptos are starting to set up again. BTC was the leader off the lows. You know, ETH has kind of been a laggard, maybe looking to take a leadership position. And then the same thing, I'll give you another one. Another previous leader that's now kind of a laggard looking to break out. We have, if I can find it, we have Link doing the same sort of thing. So there's a lot of decent setups right now, even with the market extended. So I wouldn't go chasing anything. You know, just make sure to stick to your current best practices. And yeah, that's the current state of the market. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat below.